Alright, so, yeah. My wife and I watched The Last Thing He Wanted, which is adapted from some book that came out in the 90s. And it's some kind of political spy intrigue thriller, apparently. Now, if you watch movies kind of like this, you know there's going to be clues dropped in part of the way. Someone's going to be red herrings. There's going to be betrayals. There's going to be reveals. So you kind of expect not to just necessarily sit there and tune the fuck out, but to kind of pay attention. And because you're paying attention and you're fully engaged, you're just kind of like going, all right, something's going to happen, something's going to happen, something's going to happen. You're kind of alert. You're not worried about so much about enjoyment or boredom or anything like that. You want those reveals. You want things to fucking click right into place. And this movie doesn't do that. The Last Thing He Wanted is about a reporter who's following clues and shit about American firearms being sold down in Central America in the early 80s during the Reagan era. And there's political intrigue from that. There's things on gun running, all this kind of shit. That's the backdrop for this movie. And it sucks. Like, the backdrop doesn't suck. How it looks doesn't suck. The performances are pretty solid. I'm a little biased, I will admit. I'm a huge Anne Hathaway fan, so watching her for a couple of hours isn't that bad a time for me. But you know how a movie like this, a thriller, will drop you clues throughout the entire flick? Now, sometimes you might not know their clues, and then they'll refer back to them, and you're like, oh, shit, yes! Oh, cool, they're tying that together, all this kind of stuff. This movie doesn't do any of that. In fact, for a lot of the time, you're not even sure who the fuck people are, like what their names are, how they fit in, why they're doing what they're doing, and the only time you get some clues about who the fuck people are, what their motivations might be, and to what's going on, is right in the last, 15 minutes. For the first hour and a half, things just happen, and that's what you're doing. Scratching your fucking head going, wait, why did she do that? Anne Hathaway's character, Ellie, why did she do that? Alright, now why is he doing that? In fact, why is he doing that? And who the fuck is he anyway? No one's character motivations make any sense. Nothing makes sense about this movie. It's quite convoluted with very little to no payoff. The annoying thing, I think, for my wife and I was just how much we paid attention to something we really didn't need to pay attention to. We thought it would be some kind of brainy thriller or something. It wasn't. So you can watch this movie anytime you want on Netflix. So the allure is strong. No matter what I recommend, to just go, I can watch it on Netflix, whatever. I'll just check it out for myself. It won't cost you any more or less than whatever your Netflix fee is, right? But there's some good shit on Netflix. There's some shit you should watch and enjoy, be it silly crap or amazing wonderfulness. The Last Thing You Wanted should be one of the last things you check out on Netflix. Save it for a shit day. Or just watch something you like again. I think so either the book that this movie is based on is shit as well, or there was something lost between the translation from the novel and into turning it into a story. It also feels, because it's an adaptation, that we're not getting everything, and we're not, because you can't translate a full novel, I guess, into a movie, because you can't, inner monologues, all that kind of bullshit, right? But all the interesting parts feel to have happened on pages that weren't adapted to screen. It's like when it'd be like putting on a greatest hits album but it doesn't have any of the hits on it. It just has fucking album tracks and B-sides. But it says on the front, greatest hits. That's how this movie feels. I really liked Willem Dafoe. Always do. He's one of my favourite actors. Ben Affleck's alright. He's good when the movie's good. When the movie's not so good, he's just there. Anne Hathaway's character could have been interesting if there was like any kind of interesting character development done with her. Instead, her character has these really crap motivations that don't make any sense. And I think that's a shame. I think all the ingredients are there, but it was undercooked. Puns. I've talked on this movie long enough. I'm giving, what was the fucking thing called? The Last Thing He Wanted? A 4 out of 10. Yeah. Don't make people pay attention when they don't have to. It fucking pisses them off. I was pissed off. My wife was pissed off. And she's really a chill, nice, calm person. She was fuming at the end of this movie. And I was going to give you a 5. But for pissing my wife off, you get a fucking 4. Watch something else. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, all that shit. Bit of coffee this morning. Thank you all for watching. Those few of you who do, I really do appreciate it. Look, I did mention watching something with some fuzzy blue dickhead sometime soon. I'm going to do that within the next couple of days. Fingers crossed. I think I'm putting it off because I'm really not looking forward to it. Anyway, I'll see you next time.